Mhm. What is up? Welcome back to another episode of the Red Pill versus the Blue Pill. I'm Dr. Delon Canterbury. I am your chief deprescriber and founder of GeriatRx, as well as the Deprescribing Accelerator. So, hope you guys are doing amazing, amazing, amazing. I am so rejuvenated. I spent this past couple of days in Orange County, California, for an awesome business mastermind with beautiful female Black entrepreneurs, a part of Jerisha Hawk's mastermind group with leverage. And so I'm just kind of coming back a little hype, a little bit on cloud nine, a little bit, well, not even a little bit, a lot of it just kind of recharged, just feeling as if, the world is really at my oyster right now. So, I'm a little hype. That is where the energy is coming from. So welcome back. This is again the red pill versus the blue pill, our live video series where we snap out of this fake matrix we've been basically believing we're stuck in healthcare, right? We're unleashing the power of the red pill, using our skill sets to one, get our passions back for why we're doing what we're doing, why we're advocating for our seniors, and more importantly, why this has been so monumental in my career shift and my change and development of geriatrics, and why I feel we all have the power to de-prescribe and leverage that into a profitable value-based service for your brand. So welcome back. I'm Delon, the chief de-prescriber. I focus on of course geriatric medicine, de-prescribing precision medicine, genetic testing, and developing de-prescribing action plans for over-medicated older adults. And life has just been so interesting. So I'm glad you all are here today. I have to acknowledge how how awesome it feels to really and truly and finally authentically serve in alignment with what my purpose and calling has been since starting pharmacy, since starting this path to trying to better myself, sure, but to trailblaze the way we can really shift our medication mindset, shift our medication mindset. So it does not have to be um essentially this brick wall that we face every day in our jobs and our professions, and lose that spark within us, like be the again in the matrix, just another worker bee, another just pawn, another egg, another just shell of our real true selves. And that's what Neo had to wake up within the matrix. And that's why, one, that's the reason behind the metaphor of this program. But it's really highlights the transformation that has to take place for us to get to that zone of authenticity and that zone of genius. So that is why I decided to create this program to talk about ways that I've seen unique models and approaches to what can truly be done to bring about changes within your community. So I am happy in this space because I'm finally doing like all the fun, cool things I didn't think I was allowed to do. I didn't think I was allowed to be the advocate. I didn't think I was allowed to give people such a high level service that that I can do it from the own comfort of my own home. Like I thought I would have to stand up on my feet for the next 40, 50 years, tied to a bench or tied to, a product, right? Instead of my intellect, my intellectual property, my social capital, my just overall passion. Like I thought that was going to be my trajectory forever. Like that was my end all be all, right? So I had to highlight in the beginning of this in 2020 when I started this company, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, right? I was just like, look, people need concierge pharmacists, people need a personalized approach to getting them off of harmful prescriptions. And no one's doing it, at least to the extent that families and caregivers need. So I said, all right, let's just do it. And that's where GeriatRx came from. It was a place out of, for me, getting out of my own personal retail hell, right? I was, again, a Walgreens pharmacy manager for about 5 years and saw time and time again how much the system was working against patients that looked like me, patients that were older, patients that didn't have financial resources, transportation, right? And I am compelled to tell people with a straight face in the coverage gap on Medicare that your copay is now $1,200. Thank you. I'll take that now. I'll take that now. I don't care about your eyes. I don't care about your glaucoma. I don't care about your inability to eat food. You know, I don't care about your inability to basically pay for a ride to get here, and now you have to come out of pocket hundreds of dollars, and I have to ethically say with a straight face, that'll be 1,200 bucks. And that eats away with you. It eats away at you after a while, right? You don't feel an alignment to want to do that every day. You don't feel happy essentially knowing that you're signing off on some 360 pill count Percocet, Norco, and you know it's not even working, and you're talking to the patient, he's like, "Man, I'm still in pain." And these are vets. These are people who've served, people who've sacrificed the ultimate sacrifice for our country, for our freedom. And I'm like, "Yo, so what is your pain scale on a scale of 1 to 10?" It's like, "Oh, it's actually still a 7. Worst days is an 8." It's like, "Yo, you're on 360 Percocet, 10 325 round the clock, and you're not even touching the pain, and I'm gonna sign off on that and put my little initials DC. Yep, this is it. See you next month. I'll see you later. I'll see you later," as they slowly die and pay me to slowly kill them. That stuff is for the birds, right? That's for the birds. Like this is the opposite of why we got into this. So when I say my passion came back when I knew I can help an overmedicated senior on 36 meds come down to 8 prescriptions over a strategic taper and get her the life that she's always wanted instead of wasting away in her room and her caregivers wondering why she's just a walking zombie. That is a whole new level of why I wake up every day versus that'll be 1,200 bucks. I'll see you next time. Let me find a coupon. Okay, it's 1,100 bucks. Sorry, that's the best I can do. Final offer. And there's so many more options for them that you just don't even have the bandwidth or capacity to fully serve because you're confined and afraid of repercussions of doing what's morally and ethically right for your patients, for a bed in a hospital, for quick turnovers, so you can get the next person in and you're only putting a band-aid to the solution. We're not addressing social issues. We're not addressing lifestyle, behavioral motivation. We're not touching anything spiritually. We're just going straight to, here's my new med, here's my new pill. I hope this does well for you. We don't have any evidence past 3 years, but you know what? This is the only way. This is the only way to get better. It's the only way. Didn't you know? Like, there's no need for functional medicine or nutrition. Who cares? It's in the guidelines, but we don't really care. Lifestyle medicines, and it's cute, but let's put you on this for 10 years. Let's put this in here for 10 years. And trust me, I am not anti-medicine. I love medicines. They have a role, they have a purpose. I would never be anti-medicine. I am anti this medication mindset. I am anti this whole philosophy that everything is confined to your N of 5,000 study past a 2-year follow-up window, and then we poo-poo everything else that could be a possibility for the patient. We're not even asking the patient if they even want another option. It's just like, here's the plan. I'm telling you what to do. This is our patriarchal system. This is our health system. All right, I'm the dude. I'm the GP. I'm the doctor. I'm whoever. Here's my plan. Okay, so I don't get in trouble. Here's my plan for you. No buy-in, no caregiver conversation, no calibration, no education about the core, basic, fundamental issues that are wrong with their body. Do you know how many patients I talk to and literally, literally, no one takes the time just to go over the labs to explain what an LDL and HDL means, what the VLDL means, what ASCVD risk factor, what all those. They don't know what those things mean. They just see a report that says high, low, low, high, normal, normal, high, 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 and there's no empowerment to help them progress. And so you're wondering why there is maybe not compliance, or there may not be a buy-in for this new therapy, and we're not even touching the root issue. We're not even touching, yo, I can't even afford to eat next month. We're not even talking about those social, bio, psycho, social, all the things. We're not talking about any of it. It's, here's what the guidelines say. Let's do this. Where the guidelines don't even study people 60 and up, 55 and up. So I'm excited now in this new stage of where I am, and why I feel I got my passion back, because the level of advocacy and education I provide is so life changing and so valuable that my patients continue to stay in touch with me after our time is up, because this is literally the why. This is the why. This is the tangential. Man, if I did not know that, I would not be empowered to start changing my lifestyle, to start changing my diet, to start watching what I'm consuming, right? To work on my sleep hygiene, to, man, try meditating, whatever. It's like we're writing people off and then making them pay for it. And then the worst players are sadly those that fuel the engine, and within these older LTCs, these long-term care pharmacies, and nursing homes that have them in house. And we know statistically people in these settings do worse than people in independent community dwelling settings in terms of polypharmacy, overmedication, side effects, risk of falls, risk of sedation, risk of chronic issues, risk of multimorbidities, risk of whatever. So if we, and this is not like a secret, this is just data. So you're telling me in our country, we not only pay the highest cost per capita per person in the world for healthcare, but now as we age, we're going to make you pay more. And a lot of that stuff is out of pocket, right? You got to get long-term care insurance, and that's expensive. You know how many people have long-term care insurance? Like damn near less than 1% maybe of the population. It's very low. But to expect that to be the standard of care and then make people pay to slowly die in our system is abysmal. It's abysmal that this is the future. It's I worry about my Medicare benefits. I mean, how many of y'all are worried about, yo, is Medicare gonna even be here in 20, 30 years? Like raise your hand, comment below. I wonder what you think, because I'm like, man, Medicare is gonna be like half of what it is in terms of like what I get paid out. My Social Security benefits may not be as pretty as people now, but I don't even think it accommodates for the inflation on a year-to-year basis on what people get. I mean, we're not even changing like the rates and forgiveness of some of these Medicare policies that have been enacted since 1990. We're using base pay rates from 1990 for some of these seniors. You expect them to live off an $800 check for the rest of their glorious days of aging gracefully? It ain't right. It ain't right. It ain't right. And I can't have I can't have more patients experience the hell that my family went through when my grandma, when her dementia started worsening up, and my parents trying to figure out where do we put her? How do we do this? How do we how do we even pay for housing? How do we get home health aides as immigrants, essentially, as firstborn, like people who just got here and now trying to navigate a whole caregiver realm with no clue? It is very hard. It's very difficult and very expensive. Um, and it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. So pharmacists, we all have our own secret weapon. We all have this innate ability to sharpen our deprescribing skills since we are the chief drug experts, let's be real. But the truth is, as I navigate these senior spaces, everyone can play a vital role in deprescribing. Everyone can be an advocate. Everyone can truly learn a little bit more about some of these signs and symptoms that are putting our seniors in harm's way. And if you see this, just like how patients, when they know better, they do better. The same applies for clinicians who have an alike mind and passion for stopping harmful medication use. I mean, let's be real. As pharmacists, this is what because this is like our core job in a way, right? No matter what realm of pharmacy we're in, we are some bomb, dope, brilliant-minded experts in medicine, in drug therapy and management. And in using that skill set, what we ultimately do pretty much every day of our life, no matter who we're talking to, is teaching. Think about it. We're just teaching. We're teaching it on a higher level of specificity, but we're consultants and we are teachers. We're either teaching our techs on how to better handle a situation or understand some of the drugs, why this may be an interaction, or we're teaching the patient what to look out for when it comes to a side effect profile or what may interact or what may even um, maybe protective, right? We're teaching, we're using our power to educate and teach. And ultimately, that's leading to advocacy. And advocacy is what leads to change, what leads to empowerment. And if you're empowering people with this, whether it's from the back end with providers or the front end downstream with the patient. Ultimately, we're just using our skill sets to teach. So don't be selfish. We're teaching everyone. So why not teach teams to think like us? Why not teach them to be less is more? Right? We catch errors all the time in the hospital. We make and document our notes in those SNFs and those LTCs for gradual dose reductions. We're trained to do it all. So let's not be selfish with our freaking brilliance, right? And literally lead with deprescribing at the core of what we want to do. Okay. I don't want us to get caught up with the word nuance here of when I say deprescribing, it's not just, hey, the doctor says we can now gradually stop, and that is deprescribing. Like I use deprescribing in a very not necessarily broad sense, but broad in the level of processes that need to take place before we even get to the final result, which of course is less meds, right? And of course, quality evidence-based decisions behind why there's less meds, right? Strategic tapering or gradual dose reduction. But a lot has to take place. So there's steps. There's like first we got to educate, right? We got to educate. That's like our core job anyway, is educating and empowerment. So we got to first bring awareness. We got to talk about the problem. We got to talk about what may be causing more harm or good, risk and benefits. There needs to be a whole discussion about that. There needs to be a goal shifting and alignment of whatever the patient wants and what the provider wants. There needs to be a symbiosis there in a marriage. And of course, the caregiver. We cannot forget the caregiver. Part of why I created my company was my parents became de facto caregivers to my grandma. So the caregiver, all there needs to be a trifecta of the legion of de-prescribing, whatever. It needs to be patient, caregiver, provider, all in alignment, right? But that starts with education. You got to educate the providers too. The providers want deprescribing. I cannot stress how much the doctors, the nurse providers, they all want this too. So don't be afraid to advocate for deprescribing. They just don't know how. Most of the time, they're confined or don't have the time or the bandwidth or the capacity. What we're showing people with our program is pharmacists love having the time, bandwidth, and capacity to get people off of meds. And if we can create plans for you, don't block your gift. Don't block your gift to do what you know is ethically, morally right for our patients, right? So education and awareness is one piece. Then there's buy-in. Then there's of course follow-up. There's watching. There's looking for what may be signs of progression or regression, right? All of this will take place as we start slowly deprescribing. And then, of course, there's rinsing and repeat until we get down to the sweet spot of the safest, viably possible number of meds that are really, really needed for the patient to live. And then we just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, and monitor for any signs of harm. We cannot wait for Medicare laws and insurance policy to catch up to where we're going. That is why I call it the deprescribing accelerator, because our system is too damn outdated and it's going to take a movement of God and Congress to really finalize reimbursing the value of these preventative services and interventions that are saving our health system money. And yes, the data is not the data is there, but because it's such a pharmacoeconomics is so expensive and difficult. I, I'm not even getting into that. My point is, we already know we have a system that likes to feed on the sick. The sicker you are, but not dead, but just sick enough. We believe in sick care. We believe in reactive healthcare. We cannot wait for people to finally realize, you know what? Maybe we should reimburse people for catching harmful stuff. Hmm. I can't wait for a CPT code or incident to billing code to say, yo, Delon, you've reduced X number percentage of falls in this one subset, and then I get reimbursed. Just do it. We do it already. Just do it. And then charge the value for you doing it. Not your 60 an hour, not your 80 an hour that some corporate is telling you is what your worth is. Are you kidding me? If you stop one hospitalization, you've saved that patient at least 10K, at least 10K. So why the hell aren't we getting charged or paid for that type of value? Yeah, you can. You can get paid for that type of value. You should get paid for that type of value. Why? Because we're damn consultants. We integrate seamlessly into almost any arm of healthcare. And frankly, I am tired of seeing 275,000 people die every year because of preventable medication side effects in this country. No, not over there. Here, we're paying for that with our tax dollars here. So if there's anything in my power I can do to share with others that you can do the very same thing and get paid your value, paid your worth, and have substantial impact to your healthcare outcomes and quality of life and longevity and your personal sense of belonging as to who we are as clinicians, I'm gonna damn well show you how to do that, which is why I'm here today with the red pill versus blue pill, which is why I'm here with the Deprescribing Accelerator. This is not for play. This is a lifestyle change. This is a complete movement in healthcare. And yes, that's why I'm fired up. We literally had the very first international conference on deprescribing just 2 weeks ago in Denmark. The word in the literature deprescribing starts blowing up because more and more people are governments, policies across the world are starting to do more research and talk about this. So why do I feel America is still behind? Because it is. Like I think our US deprescribing network didn't even start until I don't know 2019, emulating what other deprescribing networks. It's not just US, there are tons of deprescribing networks across the world. And that's what I'm teaching you and what you will take away from our cohort is you're going to be using not just the stuff you learn in our schools and stuff here. No, we're learning international successes and wins that you can employ today into your senior facing practice and develop as a potential money revenue stream for yourself and for your brand. And frankly, to future proof yourself, because now everyone's starting to talk about deprescribe. Now everyone's like, oh, this is now important. And of course, the literature, there's all types of different words and verbiage and medication optimization and da 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 synonyms to the same damn thing. But truthfully, we ain't getting an A plus on our report card for talking and employing deprescribing into our policy, into our services. You know, we want to say, oh, we'll do an MTM. Like, no, this is not an MTM. Okay, deprescribing is not an MTM. You want to know why I know? Because the person who founded MTM talked to me and is like, yeah, deprescribing is not MTM, and it's not. Deprescribing is an MTM on steroids, on crack, on meth. It's 10x. This is a targeted approach to use everything else that's at least clinically effective and at least safe and not cost prohibitive to get patients to our goal. And yes, you may employ lifestyle changes. You may employ motivational interviewing. You may employ functional medicine, nutrigenomics, pharmacogenomics. They all have roles here. They all have roles here, and no one way is wrong. But that option needs to be available, and it starts with education. So I am passionate because I am excited to see more and more of this in the research, in the data. I'm seeing more entrepreneurial clinicians, nurses, and pharmacists who are tired of the games. They're tired of going into these facilities and seeing the same hell for decades. I'm excited because I'm seeing a movement in integrative medicine, integrative health, holistic health and healing. Uh, I'm excited because I wake up happy as hell every day. And there are ups and downs, don't get me wrong. And there are times I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Sure. Because I am not perfectly like I don't have all that stuff down. Be honest with you. That's 2 years in business. Trust me, you ain't gonna know it all. And that's okay. I've accepted that. I'm not gonna know it all. That's not the point of this. The point is the Delon I was slugging and slinging them pills by fives and driving a team of people to move BS metrics that weren't even in alignment with me compared to the Delon now, who sets his own schedule, who lives in alignment with God and what I love to do, who gets to choose to travel, who gets to play with my dog more, who 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 all I did was just do the things I love to do because I forgot who that person was. That's why I'm so passionate about this. And I want others to feel the same joy. That's all. I want others to, you have the ability to have the same joy. You do. So you can get your passion back for healthcare using deprescribing, using what you know is morally in alignment with you and what you think is best for your patient. And my philosophy is every patient needs to be treated like a grandma. Every patient case I see, I'm like, all right, this is my grandma in what way? And I go from there. And that's the philosophy our clients leave with. That's the philosophy that our deprescribing advocates leave with our alum. And it could be again getting patients to understand medication adherence, right? In a way, adherence can be inversely deprescribing. It's so interesting how there's an interplay between all the roles. But I've had a patient one time who was didn't really understand what the meds did or why, and he was a chronic kidney dialysis patient, secondary to diabetes. He was on dialysis for about a year and a half, and he was on about 14 to 18 meds, depending on how his fluid buildup was, because he had a little bit of heart failure too. Um, but the patient, he never understood the importance of why he needed to take the medicines, and I'm sure we've all had patients like that before. But because he didn't know that core adherence, so to speak, I hate to throw it blandly at his adherence, but in this case, it actually was an adherence issue, and he just did not understand the meds at all. The fact that we were able to get him to understand what the meds are doing, why they're doing what they're doing, and how it affects him and how it affects his life goals and living and quality of life, once he got to that level of understanding, he started taking the meds more, right? And in a weird way, he got so much better control of his blood pressure and heart failure that he started having too good of blood pressure readings, right? So we were able to successfully stop one or two meds because he was now actually being over medicated because he was taking the right stuff finally. Whereas the whole time he was just, man, I'm gonna take it when I feel like it and just plug and play with whatever I want to do. So us improving adherence reduced pill burning. It was a dichotomy of you take this one or two things better, we were able to shave off two other meds because now the adherence piece. So again, never downplay the importance of patient education and empowerment. And of course, this is called medication optimization, or there's all these cool words you want to put for it. But truthfully, what it began with was simply having trust with a provider who took the time to educate and go through each little thing. Um, and there are models that actually employ this. There's a study in Washington State University. There's a rollout of essentially it's called like medication. Oh man, I'm blanking on it. It's called MCC, but it's like medication core something. I will have to reference it later. But they essentially had strategic pharmacists go and do house visits with community health ambassadors. And using this interdisciplinary approach, they focused on that adherence piece, that medication optimization piece. And they found that that was what was leading to like 90% improvement in their control of health conditions, like simple metrics like diabetes and hypertension, all because there was a better understanding of what they were taking. Now, again, you know, I can't deprescribe every damn medication someone's on, and I don't aim to do that. And there's some things you need. So cool. I have no issues with that. But I love the education piece behind that. And that again is what we want to do. That is where our passion comes in, is we want that personal trust, that patient provider. You want the warm fuzzies, the oh, I think they got it. Oh, I think they're ready to stop smoking. Oh, I think they're ready to change. You light up when you see that little bit of, oh my gosh, I lost 5 pounds. That those little wins is like you're winning. And you don't get that in retail as much as you would like. Maybe in the independent space, because God bless y'all. I love independent pharmacies, but why did it take me 6 to 7 years of being Delon 1.0, being depressed Delon, being angry Delon, being the shell of Delon that I've been for so long that I got numb to what people were telling me about themselves? I got numb to the patient journey. I got numb to how it's not just me they're looking at, it's the entire system they're looking at. They got to worry about the caseworker. They got to worry about, the provider. They got to worry about appointments. They got to worry about them getting there. They got to worry about taking time off to get there. They're losing money. They got to worry about their kids. Are they going to feed their kids tonight? It's way much more stuff going on than just coming in for your refill and whatever. So I just want to conclude with the passion is in you. I don't want you to lose your inner clinician child, so to speak, uh, that I lost, that I really, really lost. I mean, frankly, I lost it a little bit in pharmacy school too. I really despised pharmacy school. Um, it was like the writing on the wall. I was like, damn, y'all don't really care, huh? I probably shouldn't say this live, but it was just like, man, yeah, y'all really don't care. Like this faculty and students, like, damn, this is just another game to y'all. And I'm done with the games. I'm choosing me now, and this is, I was actually making this comment during the business mastermind that I can't wait for Delon 3.0. Like I'm maybe like 1.5, 2.3 right now, but I can't wait for Delon 3.0, who is even more just magnanimous in this joy, in this passion, in this alignment I'm experiencing for myself. And it I'm learning it affects more of my patients' outcomes as I continue to feed this inner clinician child, but this love, this love for what I do. Yeah. So I think that's a good way to conclude today's episode. I'll let you resonate on that. I want you to have your passions back. I want you to have your passions back. Let me know what resonated with you. There'll be more of the red pill versus the blue pill, of course. Uh, we'll meet sometime next week, do the same thing. But appreciate you all coming in live, showing some love and support. I hope this. Oh, wow. Oh, hey, Virginia. Um, Virginia Slocum just left a dope comment. I'm gonna read it out loud. Delon, I caught the second half of this, but wow, love your passion. So excited to get to know you better and can't wait to speak more tomorrow. Yes, Virginia, I can't wait either. Tomorrow, I'll be doing a talk with the North Carolina Coalition of Serious Illnesses, and they have an event I think called like Healthy or Healing Fridays. Sorry if I mess up the name, but Healthy Fridays. And so tomorrow I'll be talking among other senior clinicians, senior providers across the state who uh, essentially will learn more about my work with geriatrics, deprescribing, senior advocacy, patient advocacy. So thank you, Virginia, for the warm words. I really appreciate you tuning in and showing some love for your boy. But I didn't have this passion 2 years ago. And I swear to you, this is achievable for all of you. I swear to you. I swear you can find this. It's Trust me, I'm normally very pessimistic. Very was very pessimistic for the majority of my life. Like this is me, I think, uh leveling in 2.0, but still mm, still just exuding the abundance of life right now. So see y'all next week. Catch you on the replay. But yeah, comment below. I want to know what most resonated with you. Um, what pissed you off. Just be real. I'm curious to know your thoughts. I'd love to know your feedback. Um, but what would you do differently for yourself today? Like, what's something you can do differently today within your work or within making your new baby, your new job, or whatever, your endeavors in business, or whether it's spiritual, mental? What can you do today to feed your inner childlike clinician, all right? Your inner child, we know that metaphor, but your inner clinician child. What was your initial baby as a clinician? Like, what was your man, I love that. What was that? Let's talk about that. I want you to rediscover that why. That's the core of who we are and how we show up in our professions. All right, well, much love, y'all. This was really good. This is really good energy. So I'll see y'all next week. We'll talk more. Kaya's starting to cry a little bit. I don't think she thought I'd be on this long. Um, but yeah, I'll take her out in a bit. So what's up, honey? What's up? You all right? I love you too. But yeah, Good stuff, y'all. Good stuff. Thank y'all so much for tuning in and showing some love. And yeah, I'll catch y'all next week. Be good. Take care.